Please join me in welcoming Prafull Khare. I apologize if I said that incorrectly. Up to the stage. Let's welcome him up. He is the global head of AI strategy at Radiant Digital with a big round of applause. Here he is. Let me give the microphone to him.
uh, you tried your level best, but the name was not accurate. So I just wanted you tried your level best, and I really appreciate that with the name. You did a really good job. Thank you. Uh, so we had a really interesting conversation some time back, and I was listening. Right, it's all about the layoffs, how Anthropic is making new announcements, and it looks like that every week there is a new announcement, and every month there is a new set of layoffs. And when I combine all that information together, that what is going on, I call it as AI paradox. And we are going to talk a little bit about that today. Does that sound exciting or boring since morning we are having that? All right. So, how many of you are actually using AI? I mean, your companies are using AI. Almost everyone. And how many of you are actually seeing the revenue impact? The P&L is getting improved. Only few. Okay. So that's the problem. That's what I call it as AI paradox. The record spending is going in this area, mass layoffs are happening, but still companies are not able to see the result what they are anticipating. And that's the problem all the companies are facing right now. And we are going to uncover the reason behind it and what should be the playbook for a ideal tech company CEO to overcome that paradox. All right, so is everybody with me? Uh, Not working. Oh, now it is. All right. No, this is not working. Yeah. Okay. I think we are in the beginning. Oh, okay. All right. So this is the AI paradox looking like. In 2026, companies are planning to spend around $665 billion. Dollars. And till now, almost 150,000 jobs has been lost. Yet, there are multiple studies coming in the market which is telling that 95% of the pilot which are actually going in the AI, they are all failing. They are not able to make it to production. They are not able to make any revenue impact. So why is that happening? But a lot of people will argue that these are the numbers and anybody can play with the numbers. So let's look at the human side of it and let's look at the impact of these numbers on people like me and you and the industry. This is the breaking news. Every now and then, whenever we open our news websites, this is what we keep on hearing. Amazon is planning to lay off 30,000 people. Block is planning to reduce their workforce by 40%. Oracle is laying off 30,000 people. And that news is kind of new normal. And that is kind of coming every month, every quarter. On an average, every day in 2026, 740 people are losing their job to AI. I'm not even talking about any other reason, just AI. So why is that happening? That companies are spending, I'm going back to my first statement that the record number of spending is going into the AI, yet the results are not there. So if you consolidate all the information, what is coming out, that companies are cutting people to fund AI, which actually doesn't work. And why is that happening? Because it's not like that the companies are just the money minded people, they love firing people, they love cutting the workforce. It's not like that. There is another side of the market where we are hearing a news coming from DeepSeek is wiping down 17% in the stocks for Nvidia. There is another news coming out from Anthropic when they launched their new model and the Cloud Code. It literally wiped down 8% of the entire valuation of IBM because now they proved that the companies does not need to run on the mainframe system. They can modernize it with the help of AI. And what message is actually going in the market with all these news to the CXOs, CEOs, chief product officers, marketing officer? We are next. If companies like DeepSeek, Anthropic can disrupt the business, what NVIDIA and IBM is having, we are the next. Next day, another solution is going to come, which is going to have the same impact on us. Think it in a way. I have the Indian heritage. I born in India, I raised in India. India has an entire IT industry worth $285 billion. And the industry has been built that you don't need to pay $150 to an engineer or a software developer in US when you can get the same work done in $50 an hour in India. Now guess what? You can get the same work done with the help of $25 per million token in US. So it's not just impacting the balance sheet of the companies, it's disrupting the economies at a scale. And every company trying to make sure that they are also cracking the code so that it will not disrupt their industry. If Amazon is going to spend $200 billion in AI to make sure that they are not next, Microsoft is also going to make sure that they spend at least $150 billion in the same technology because they want to be on the edge. Now, after all this record spending, why things are still not working? Do you guys get that question a lot? I mean, the frustration from your CEOs that, hey, the AI adoption is not there. I want something to change drastically. Why my people is not adapting AI? I'll tell you the reason. I had a similar discussion with my CEO. He asked me the question that why my developers are not using model X. He named an Anthropic model. I'm not just naming it here. And why they are not doing all the software development 100% with the help of AI. Why still manual touches are required? And the answer I gave him that that's not true. The AI adoption is happening in the company, but in pockets. How many of you people actually use generative AI to write your email today or take some assistance? Almost everyone. But the developers are still not doing it. You know why? Because you know in the email what you actually want to say, what you want to communicate, and in which tone you want to communicate. Who is the audience? But when you are going with AI, when it is generating the code, when an agent is going and fixing an issue in the real system, in the turbine, in the engine, in the software, you don't even know what is the desired outcome, whether it is going to provide the right solution to you or create another problem. So the problem is not technology. The problem is that humans are not able to validate at a scale the output of AI. That's why the AI adoption is slow. And people sitting on the top, they have that realization, but somehow they don't want to admit. I had a discussion with a CIO in a Fortune 10 company last month, and the conversation was really interesting because first he started, we showed him a transformation project, and we showed him that hey, you got a quote from a big four Indian IT company for 9 months and X dollars. We can do the same work for you in 3.5 months, X and a half dollars. So we are cutting down your cost by 50% and we are getting the work faster for you by at least 60%. You know the response what I got? But Praful, you are not using humans now. It's a machine. So why are you even taking 3.5 months? It could have been done in a week. All you need to tell the machine to do the transformation. The problem is not doing the transformation. The problem is actually validating the transformation. And that's where the crux is going. Now, if we talk from the company's perspective, why they are facing the problem, there are three issues. Number one, there is an obsession for the tool, for the platform, for the model. Every time I go to people, they always talk to me about that, hey, this is the new tool we are using. This is the new model has getting dropped and it is kind of doing wonders for us. And that conversation is common on the floor. Second problem is pilot paralysis. I can guarantee you, you go to any company, there are at least 100 pilots running on AI, and 80% of them does not even have a vision. that how they are actually going to productionalize it. They just want to see whether the AI works or not. And the third and the biggest problem is the people disconnect. When I say the people disconnect, it's it's not about bolting AI into the fragile system. You need to understand the workflow and the mechanics of how your people are actually working today. You need to extract that institutional knowledge and the workflow, and then you need to integrate AI with that. That's the problem. I'll go back to the first point, the obsession about a tool or a model. I met a CIO 3 times. He's a Fortune 20 company CIO. I met him in October of last year. We had a very interesting conversation about AI and some code generation platforms. And he told Praful, we are using Copilot. Don't worry about that. Copilot will take care of everything. I said, but Copilot has these gaps. He said, yeah, but you need to understand Microsoft is spending billions. They will solve the problem. Great. Thank you so much. If you need help, please let me know. Again, I had another meeting with him in December. I asked him the same question that, hey, how the results are coming out with Copilot? No, no, man, Copilot is shit. Now we are using Cursor. Cursor is performing so much better than Copilot, and now we are transforming the world. My developers are doing this, that, boom, bam, boom. And that was another interesting conversation. So I said, okay, are you still realizing the problem or do you want to give it to another shot? He said, no, 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 we got it. We got it. I'll solve the problem. If it doesn't work out, I'll reach out to you. I had another discussion with the same CIO last month. I said, hey, how Cursor is working? He said, you know what? Cursor was better than Copilot, but it has its own challenges. Now we are switching over to Cloud Code. They came up with the new agents. Now it is having the complete CLI view, this, that, and all, and everything is going to be under control. I said, you know what? I'm going to tell you something. After 3 months, again, when I will come back to you, you will tell me the same line. And after 3 months, your CEO is actually going to take your job because you are just chasing the models and the tool. You are actually not doing any transformation. You are into that noise, right? And he get it. So we are having that conversation now that what exactly is the problem and what is the crux? I mean, what do we need in this AI world to actually do the transformation and see the result and unleash the true potential of AI? And that's not the model. That's not the tool. That's not the platform. That's the context. Context is the mode. How your industry is working, how your company is working, years of institutional knowledge, how you build the context and feed it to the AI so that it can work for you. That's the biggest problem what the companies are facing today. And that's where they need to impress upon. Now, the solution for this AI paradox, what we are seeing, number one, stop chasing the model. Whether you are going from Gemini to Anthropic, Anthropic to ChatGPT, every 3 months you are going to have a new model. You cannot just depend on that. You need to make sure that you are using these model as a commodity in a plug and play fashion, but your entire strategy cannot be built around it. Don't replace your existing system. Don't just start thinking about that, okay, I can see some light that ChatGPT can generate the code. I don't need 20,000 developer. You need the institutional knowledge what these 20,000 people has, and you need to transition from here. Instead of thinking about how you can cut costs, you need to think about how you can achieve more. What new revenue stream can be opened with AI? Don't run multiple disconnected pilots. Identify the top 3 problem statement what your company is having, and then work backwards to solve it. Go with your end state that what you actually want to achieve and work towards the plan. Otherwise, everything is just going to become the science project. So the essential message what I'm actually trying to deliver, the models, tools, platform, all these things are commodity. If not one, you will have another one. Context is the mode. That is the power to truly transform your organization with the help of AI. And that's where you need to focus on. Now, from a CEO's perspective, how their playbook should look like. And that's the true conversation what I am having with my CEO, and then the company which I am leading, I'm having with the team who is working on that company. The playbook should start with the problem statement. What exactly are you trying to solve? What is the impact of that particular solution into your business? Is it going to save ton of money to you? Is it going to generate additional revenue to you? If yes, then let's see how we can solve that problem. If it is going to be a fancy toy, then you don't need to channelize and focus your energy in that direction. Instead of thinking about that everything is bad, think about that how you can integrate AI not into your brittle system, but into the workflows, into the institutional knowledge what your people has, and increase the productivity there. And you are not going to get the 100% increase on day one. It is going to have a slow start. You need to start from somewhere, get to 20%, 25%, 30%, and go from there. Context is your moat. I already delivered that message multiple times, right? And the next buzzword which is going to be the in the industry is not about the model, is about the tokenomics. Did anybody heard that word, tokenomics? So companies who are seriously using AI, they are now thinking about how many tokens they are burning and what is the cost impact of that. Companies like Microsoft, they're smart enough. I mean, in their Copilot, they're providing you all the models, but they are doing the downward throttling. So the moment you make 100 queries to the high reasoning model like Opus, they will downgrade you to GPT-40 and let you make unlimited queries, full of hallucination, full of issues, right? So that's what happening today. So you need to make sure your context is separate from your model and your context is getting transitioned across these different models. And then one thing where you need to put your relentless focus is the measurement of the outcome. You need to have your teeny tiny goals like weekly goals, monthly goals, quarterly goals, all going towards the big objective what you want to achieve. And then you need to track the progress. And that's how you're going to take one step at a time and truly going to embrace AI to its true potential. And that's what is the need of the hour. And that's where my final punchline comes into the play. Companies are focusing today that how to adopt AI. When they are focusing today how to adopt AI, I'm literally having that conversation with multiple enterprises and the government agencies and even the small businesses. And the conversation is all about that I'm tracking the GitHub. How much of the code is actually generated by AI versus how much is being written manually. And that's how I'm evaluating my developer. Oh yeah, people are generating some junk code. Is it solving your problem? No. Check-ins are there, numbers are there, check mark is there, AI washing is there, results are not there. So companies don't need to just adopt AI so that they can go into the CEOs can go into the boardroom and say that hey, we are AI enabled, we are AI first, and so on. They actually need to adopt it for their business. They need to understand where AI is going to reduce the friction, and that's where we need they need to bring it on. All right. So this is my final presentation. This is the last slide for today, and then we will go back to the question. So the message, what I was trying to deliver here is AI is a double-edged sword. The type of investment which is going into the AI, even the biggest bubble in the tech industry, which was the dot-com bubble in early 2000, the investment in AI is far more than that. So there is a record investment on AI. There are mass layoffs all over the place. Still, companies are not able to see the return. Actually, the layoffs are the result of the investment because companies need to justify it. So, how companies can solve that problem? By three simple solutions. Focus on the context, not on the model. Integrate in your existing business workflow rather than just throwing them away. And last but not least, adapt, not adopt. That's all from my side.